Business Basics, lesson number 2. Welcome. Getting someone's attention. Imagine this situation. You have an important report that you have to finish today. But in order to do so, you need to get some information from one of your colleagues. You look across the room and see that he is in deep conversation with somebody else. Their conversation shows no sign of letting up. So what do you do? Do you wait or do you interrupt him? Interrupting people in the office, or indeed in any kind of situation, can be tricky. It can be awkward and it can be difficult. There is, however, a polite way to do it, and that is exactly what we are going to see in this Business Basics lesson. Sasha and Sally, two members of City Busy's management department, are busy, chatting. However, Simon needs to get Sally's attention and get her advice on an important issue. That gives you all the background that you need for this time. Have you, however, already done the dictation exercise? If you have not done the dictation exercise yet for this lesson, stop right now. Pause this video and go and do that first. Assuming that you have done the dictation exercise, let us, without further ado, jump straight into this story, getting someone's attention. Sasha and Sally were deep in conversation. If you are deep in conversation, you are totally and utterly focused on that conversation. You are completely absorbed in it. You are completely unaware of anything that is going on around you. All that you are aware of is that conversation. You are deep in conversation. "Excuse me, Sally," said Simon. "Can I have a quick word? I can see you're busy, but I won't keep you a moment. I just need your advice on a personnel issue." "Excuse me, Sally," said Simon. Now, I don't think this needs any kind of explanation. The meaning is quite simple, quite obvious. But I just want you to notice that Simon could have just started this with, "Can I have a quick word, Sally?" And in terms of meaning, that would have been absolutely fine. However, tagging "excuse me" onto the beginning of this just makes things that little bit more polite. Remember what I said in the previous lesson. We tend to be quite informal in the way that we chat to each other in the office in English-speaking countries. We tend to be quite casual. However, that doesn't mean we are disrespectful in the way that we speak to each other. We are very casual, but we're also very respectful and very polite at the same time. Simon doesn't know what Sally and Sasha are talking about. It could be something important to do with work. It could just be casual chit-chat about whatever it is that they make casual chit-chat about. Something they saw on the telly last night, for example. But it doesn't matter because Simon is interrupting them, so it is polite to start with, "Excuse me. Excuse me, can I have a quick word?" "Excuse me, Sally," said Simon. "Can I have a quick word? Can I have a quick word?" This is a very, very common expression and a very standard one in this kind of situation where you need to speak to someone about something and you need to get their attention. So Simon is saying, "Excuse me, Sally, I have something I need to talk to you about. Could I have a moment of your time in order to do that? Can I have a quick word?" "I can see you're busy, but I won't keep you a moment," Simon continues. So this is another very, very common expression. "I can see you're busy." This is just used to acknowledge that, yes, we fully understand that you are busy, Sally. I can see that you and Sasha are deep in conversation. You are discussing something important. I'm very, very sorry to interrupt you, but what I have to ask you about is important enough that I am interrupting you in order to do it. Really, as is the case with the next thing that Simon says as well, this has no particular meaning in this little section of the conversation. Rather, it's just here for politeness in exactly the same way as "excuse me, Sally." This doesn't really change the meaning of what Simon is saying at all. It just makes it more polite and indicates that Simon feels bad about interrupting Sally and that Simon is respectful of Sally's time. "I can see you're busy, but I won't keep you a moment." This is a very polite way to say it won't take long. So we're saying to Sally, "I need to talk to you about something important. I need a quick word. I can see that you're doing something with Sasha already, but this thing that I need to ask you about, it's only going to take a few seconds. It's only going to take a minute. It's only going to take a moment." Again, as with the previous phrase, "I can see you're busy," and with "excuse me, Sally," this doesn't really add any kind of meaning to what Simon is saying. It doesn't add anything new. Rather, it's just, again, a way for Simon to be polite and to indicate that he does understand that Sally is busy and he is being respectful of her time by just demonstrating, indicating, telling her that he won't use much of it. What he needs to ask her is only going to take a few seconds. And then he continues with, "I just need your advice on a personnel issue." So it's always good form to tell the person what exactly it is that you need a quick word about. Because otherwise, Sally might be like, "Okay, Simon, what do you need to talk about? Is he angry with me? Have I done something wrong? What is this all about? What is this mystery thing that Simon needs to talk to me about?" But by saying, "Here and now, I just need your advice on a personnel issue," Simon is giving Sally the context so that she can give him a few seconds of her time knowing exactly what it's going to be about. "I'll go and put the kettle on," said Sasha, moving away. So if you go and put the kettle on, you go and boil water in order to make tea. Of course, here, it's not that Sasha desperately wants to make a cup of tea. I mean, she might have been thinking that she wants to put the kettle on anyway, but the reason that she says this here is, of course, to indicate to Simon and Sally that she understands, you two have something important to talk about personnel, no less. Probably something that Sasha shouldn't be hearing. If it's about another member of staff, it might be about something that they've done, about something bad. That gives you a hint about what might be coming in one of the other business basics lessons. But she's just saying, "I will remove myself from the area for a few minutes so that you two can talk in private." And the way that she does that is to say, "I'll go and put the kettle on." The fact that she's putting the kettle on is simply an excuse to remove herself from the area. She could have just said, of course, "Okay, I can see you guys need to talk. I will get out of the way for a few minutes." But the problem with that is, first of all, it just makes Simon feel a little bit bad about kicking Sasha out of the area. But also, we kind of don't know how much time we've got then. Whereas if she says, "I'll go and put the kettle on," well, we know roughly how long it takes to boil water and make tea. So Simon knows roughly how much time they've got to talk before Sasha comes back. So this is just a very good way to, again, make an excuse and remove yourself from the area so that two people can talk without you being there. And there we go. That is the end of the story for Business Basics lesson number 2, getting someone's attention. It can be awkward, it can be tricky, but now you know how to do it politely. Give it a go next time you need to grab the attention of someone who is deep in conversation with somebody else in the office. Your job now, of course, is to go back over this story. Just make sure that you understand everything that is going on here 100%. Make sure that you understand all the language we've talked about, what the phrases and expressions mean, and importantly, why they are used here in this context in the way that they are. Your next job then, of course, is the same as before to do the shadowing exercise. Just use the same MP3 as you used for the dictation exercise and shadow this until it is easy. Really get your mouth moving, perfect the sounds, the pronunciation of all of this language, especially those underlined portions, those high frequency grammatical chunks, and just repeat until it's easy to do. And with that, I will see you in Business Basics lesson number 3, when poor Simon has a technical problem. Want to get more advanced, bigger, better, more detailed, more comprehensive business English lessons just like this one? Head over to doingenglish.com/membership and join us in Julian Northbrook's League of Extraordinary English Speakers.